Hey lifers, and welcome to another episode of Because Life Can Be a Niche podcast. Thank you all for riding with us. If you are listening to this episode on any of the channels or any of the places where you get your podcasts, thank you for listening. If you're watching or if you're listening and you want to watch, the video version of the podcast is actually on the YouTube channel, Life Can Be a Niche. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Katie Bryant Writes. Would love to get with you on social media. There's always something being posted. The blog, Life Unfolding. Check that out at katiebryantwrites.com. Please get in the comments and let me know what you think, what you want to talk about. I would love to hear from you. We have not forgotten, we have 102 subscribers. 2 over the 100. I can't believe it. I'm so excited and I'm grateful for everyone. That seems like a small number, I'm sure, to some people in YouTube land or out in the world, but to me, it's a huge deal, and I'm grateful for that. Just remember, all you have to do on YouTube is hit the subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you a thing. And thank you. Tell all your friends about it. You know, hit the notification so you know when I drop something. Try to drop something on time or as timely as possible. I try to drop every Thursday. That's the plan. That's the goal. Sometimes it works. Sometimes life can be a niche and it doesn't happen. So when that happens, we just come on out with something the next week and hope that we are keeping you engaged and entertained. The tea of the episode, because you know we always have to have a tea, and this tea, I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking my tea. I'm usually sipping tea during the show, but I'm not. I'm going to be honest. But it is passion. It's an exuberant herbal infusion of hibiscus, orange peel, rose hips, and passion fruit flowers. I mean, just the best. But I'm not doing this until tomorrow because I want to save it because I only have one. I got it from I think some hotel stay a while ago, and I've been saving it for like a day that I would really need tea, and this will probably be one of those days. It has been a day, y'all. Lord have mercy. Today we have been through tea, always in the teacup. But it's not a teacup. It's the Because Life Can Be a Niche cup, and you can get one too. Get at me in the comments, and I'll tell you how. Or I might just send you one just because. Anyway, let's put that to the side. It has been one rock and roll day to the point where I don't even know what I'm really going to talk about. I knew what the show is supposed to be about because we've been talking about relationships and pandemic revelations. And one of the things, the last episode of Pandemic Revelations was actually about dating and dating through a pandemic. But I really hit on dating before the pandemic, because I'm dating after divorce. That's a whole nother topic, a whole nother situation in itself. We could dedicate a season to that. But Pandemic Revelations, this is the next round of Pandemic Revelations, and that's things that you have discovered or learned in this pandemic that maybe you didn't know or realize before, or now that you have more focus and a little bit more time and not as many distractions. You know, there's no baseball, there's no football, there's nothing to really pull you away. You know, girls' nights are really, now we do it on Zoom. So we're not going out. You're not leaving the house. So you have more time to spend. Most people do in retro. I guess doing a little bit of, I don't know, introspection, retrospection. I don't even know what you call it. And, you know, I share with you guys about how dating has changed so much, and how, you know, relationships during a pandemic, how they've been impacted. And this has kind of been something I guess I've been teetering on. I guess I do know what I want to talk about, because I already said it. In terms of relationships, through the pandemic, one thing that we have started doing, or we've been doing since we started sheltering in place in March is we started church hopping virtually. And really, I mean, it's not like I'm going to churches where I wasn't following the pastor anyway. It was that I was usually physically in church. And so by the time I got out of church, I didn't really come home and log on and watch a lot of stuff online. I may listen to sermons in the car or when I'm driving, and not really, I don't have anywhere to go. So I'm not driving either. So this time gave me more time. So I think we spend more time in church, visiting church, worship service from home now, which has really been a blessing to me. I have grown even more. I told y'all I'm trying to get everything out of this pandemic I can get except COVID. I really want to grab everything, all the lessons that need to be learned, all the things that I need to be pushed to do and moved to do, and I want to soak it all in, because this is a time, everybody says unprecedented. It is. This is not. I have not seen anything like this in my lifetime. I pray we don't see it again, but we don't even know what the end of this will look like. But I do know that I have focused, immensely focused on my spiritual life and what this pandemic entails spiritually, what we're really battling here with the racial and the injustice and all of the things that have just come out even more, or that we're now paying closer attention to. Maybe they were always there, but everybody wasn't at home in sheltering in place to see it. But it's just come to the forefront at a time that has been very painful and very emotional and eye-opening. And tapping in spiritually has been one of those things where I'm like, I want to get it, God. I want to get it right. Show me what you want me to get out of this. What do you want us to get out of this? This is a growing time. I have not looked at it like I'm, depressed or I'm sad. And I thank God for that, because I know that a lot of people are feeling a lot of emotions right now and going through a lot. And I am mindful of that and in prayer about that as well. But I have not kind of, I guess, drawn away from or kind of closed in on myself during this time. It's actually been a time where I've used it to grow. Even the painful things. It's not like I haven't gone through times when I'm feeling uncertain or times when I'm upset or sad or hurt. I have. It's just that I have handled it differently because I'm at home and I have that time and I have more time to worship in different places. And one of the things that in the pandemic revelations, one of the things that we've been talking about, like in my sister circle, has been, religiously, spiritually, how has this pandemic changed you spiritually? What has it done in your life? And I think everyone that I've spoken to, everyone in my circle, has had a change, some type of spiritual change that, it's like, I feel closer to God. I feel more in tune with His Word, or I feel convicted in some of the things that I have ignored, or I feel like God has revealed things to me. Or I feel a spiritual connection, or, I have seen where I was going to worship was lacking because I've had time to virtually visit other places, and what I'm seeing here is not lining up with what I'm growing spiritually and being led to and being fed by. And so we just had some amazing conversations about some real serious stuff from a spiritual perspective. I use the word religious respect, loosely, because religion and spiritual, it's it's not one and the same. I mean, we're talking about, getting right here for you. And I can even say that I have spent more time, a lot more time. And I thought I was spending time before. I thought, hey, my hour, 2 hours, weekends, 3 hours outside, whatever I was doing, I thought that was, pretty good time in. But when you have more time, you don't have where to go. Just go to church online. And, some people have made decisions, about where to worship, or where, just evaluating how they're being fed spiritually, and perhaps even moving to other locations or moving to other places, or finding themselves, where they are more involved with instead of just, being a member, just being more involved, even virtually, at the place where they are worshiping. So either people are getting more connected and plugged into their spiritual home in terms of their faith, wherever they're serving, in their faith house. Others are maybe evaluating, just, is the word here lining up with what's happening in the world, and lining up with where I see my spiritual growth, and where I see in the Bible, where I see this unfolding in the world, as the pastor, or the church leaders speaking to that boldly and unapologetically. And it doesn't matter, when the truth comes out, it does not matter about your race or your your background, your ethnicity. The word is the word. It is what it is. It's the Bible. Either it lines up or it doesn't. And there have been a lot of, I guess, revelations during the pandemic revelations series. There have been a lot of revelations spiritually for me, and I know for many people in my personal circle as well. Especially because we have so many things coming at us from so many different places. As a mom, I am spiritually concerned, and of course prayerful over my children and over their safety. I'm concerned about the conditions of the world, the conditions of our country. All of those things, to me, start with God first. And so it has everything, the virtual learning, the in-person learning, the political issues, the racial issues, everything goes right back to your foundation. For me, my foundation in my spirituality. And so this has been a time where I have really felt plugged in and more connected, and that I am operating more in the spirit instead of in the, hey, Katie, what you think we ought to do? I think we ought to do it. Let's do it. I'm not. I am definitely everything. I'm like, you know what? Let me dial back, because even little stuff, I'm like, I cannot chance any decisions I make to me. None of them. And I thought I was doing good before, but apparently I had some growing to do. I tell you, I'm trying to snatch up every lesson I can learn out of this pandemic. I want to snatch all of whatever the pandemic has. I want it all, except the COVID. And so even in that, I'm like, man, when you don't know what's going to happen, when you have no clue how this is going to turn out, when you have no idea how the other side of this looks, the only thing I have is my faith. The only thing I have is my spirituality and my relationship with Christ, with God. And that has been a game changer for me in this pandemic. I have grown even more, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful I'm grateful that I was humbled, and I recognize where I fell short, that God revealed to me, hey, look here, where I'm falling short and where I can shore up. And then also for the discernment of being able to recognize where I shouldn't be and who I shouldn't be around and what I shouldn't be doing or saying. And it's still, every day is a new day, for me to, as soon as I wake up, I'm already wrong. I already know. Because nobody's perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. As soon as I open my eyes, probably before I open them, as soon as I reach my hand over to the snooze button, I don't even open my eyes. As soon as I do that, I'm already wrong. I've already thought something or done something. I'm already wrong anyway. But this time has definitely been the time where I'm recognizing that even more and trying my best to do better and to lead better and to help make sure my kids are, seeing that and that they are learning and growing spiritually as well. And I'm grateful for the time for virtual church. I think I go to 3 church services, maybe 4. And I get something out of it. And it's so easy because it's online and you're soaking it up. And I know fellowship, being in person, that yes, that's important. It's not the end all be all. If you're in person but you're not growing, you're not getting anything out of it, you're still wrong. It's wrong as rain, not changing at all, not growing. So if you're in person and still wayward, that's not helping me either. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on that part yet. It hasn't been a whole year, and I have not felt the need to be in person. I have really grown from what I've gotten virtually, because if church is where you are, so it's never been in the building. Although I do look forward to fellowshipping again, but until then, virtual is cool with me. But what have you learned? I mean, what have you gotten in your spiritual walk? I really want to hear from people, because I know what my circle of people are saying, but we're not a big circle. It's not like it's a whole, 100 of us, but it's definitely probably I would say a good 10 to 20 of us are kind of all on the same plane or on the same wavelength and expressing the growth that we've all experienced during this pandemic. It has been a pandemic revelation, a spiritual, it's not, I don't even know if I want to call it awakening, just deepening our relationship in God and our faith. And it has been nice. It has really been a nice experience. Yes, things are scary. Yes, things are, not the way we would want them to be. Sometimes I feel sad. Sometimes I feel forlorn because I'm like, I didn't get to go to the beach. I didn't get to take my kids any place. But then at the same time, what I've gained has outweighed the material creature comforts of what, appear to be lost. Because we have a roof over our heads. We're eating. I'm still employed. Everyone is healthy. This house has not been hit with COVID. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. So share your thoughts. What has changed for you? What in the pandemic revelation, how have you changed spiritually? And what have you grown? And what have you learned from and grown from? Just share. Thank you all for riding with us again on this episode. We're having so much fun, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Please, in social at Katie Bryant Writes on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And please follow the blog Life Unfolded. I will be writing more. So, me saying that actually prompts me to do it. KatieBryantWrites.com, and it's the blog Life Unfolding. YouTube, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It's free. And make sure you hit the notification so you know when we drop a new video. We'll have another Farmhouse Fridays coming out soon. That's when I'm cooking it up, laughing it up, and eating it up. I think it's going to be lasagna. So make sure you watch out for that and join us there. And the 100 subscriber giveaway is coming up in September. I'm saving it for September for a reason. And I cannot wait to announce it. I'm so excited about it. I appreciate you all. Thank you for riding with us. As always, remember the tea. The tea was passion. Don't forget it. Get yourself some. I'm going to have mine tomorrow. I just don't want to have it tonight and be up all night. But remember to always be good to yourselves and be good to each other. And I will see you when I see you.